We should be live on YouTube. Can you hear me clearly and see me clearly? How are you all doing today? It is the perfect day today in Redwood City, California, where I live and where I'm at right now, Red Morton Park. It is exactly 70 degrees. This is absolutely the best possible weather you can have for a walk. 70 degrees is known as room temperature. Doesn't get any better than this, especially after the past few days or maybe even up to the past week. It's been pretty hot. We've been having an Indian summer here in Northern California. It's been very warm. I heard that Southern California got some rain. Who knows? Maybe it'll be headed our way soon. But for now, like, the weather's been absolutely amazing. And, you know, a lot of people that have been following me for a while wonder why, you know, I pay so much to live out here. Well, you know, I was born and raised out here. I have all my family out here. And, you know, it's the weather. The weather is a huge part in what drives the cost up here in the San Francisco Bay Area where I live. Plus, you know, the high-tech industry is here and all the jobs are here, and it's just one of the most amazing places to live on the planet, and I just feel so blessed to be able to be a part of it. So blessed that my late father, that passed away 12 years ago, did his research when bringing his family and my mother out here from Greece about 50 years ago or so. So, yeah. Hey, Queen, thank you for putting the topic in there. I appreciate it. I really do appreciate you, Queen. Even if we disagree at times, you know that. I keep saying that, but, you know, here are my thoughts, folks. Before we get to the topic here, I like to always do a little monologue on these walking streams and even sometimes my in-studio streams. I don't think you can ever pat someone on the back too much for being supportive. I think there's a right and a wrong way to do it. I think you can be excessive and, you know, sound weird when you're excessively patting someone on the back, but I don't think, you know, you can ever pat someone on the back, someone like Queen Helen Casey that has been a part of this, part of my network for the last 2+ years, maybe like 2.5 years now. And, you know, that's another thing. I really want to help people better understand this modern world, having manners, you know, just being a good person and, you know, being a happy person and doing your best to bring happiness and positivity into everyone's life around you. Now, tonight from the studio, I'm going to be doing a stream at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific again, probably for a couple hours, maybe an hour and a half, might be a little bit less, you know, in length than the stream was last night. But there was an interesting Reddit posting I want to read. And basically it's about, you know, men, you know, kicking down other men. I can't remember the exact title, but it's to that extent. You know, what do you guys think about men that try to bring down other men? And I will tell you, you know, that's not only been happening a lot on YouTube and social media since social media came out about, let's say about 15 years ago. But, you know, it was even happening in real life, you know, before social media came out. If I go back to, like 30 years ago or so, when I was 17, you know, around that time, my teenage years, you know, many of us guys would always try to be better than the other guy, right? And we would always try to, you know, kick the other guys down, especially if we were in front of women, thinking that that would make us look cool, right? And that's the furthest thing from the truth. That actually makes you look like a pathetic loser. That actually makes you appear weak because you're not happy enough within yourself to just treat people nice. You have to kick other people down, thinking that that's going to show strength. The honest truth is, when you kick other people down, you're showing extreme weakness. And it's very unattractive to the right women. Now, the wrong women out there, there are good and bad women and good and bad men. The wrong women out there, when you kick other men down, might get off on that temporarily, but that's not a woman in a good place. A woman in a good place is not going to respect any man that kicks other men down, especially in front of women, to try to appear like you're a man and you're stronger, right? It's pretty pathetic. It's ridiculous. And yeah, it still happens to this day. It's more apparent because of social media. And especially out here on YouTube, over the last 5-6 years or so, since YouTube started doing live streaming, and because of the drama market and all that, it's just more apparent that, instead of men sticking together and helping each other navigate through this crazy modern world that we live in nowadays, most men kick other men down. And that is the biggest display of weakness any man can do. It's even worse than trying to kick a woman down. Now, I don't respect men that kick men or women down, but I'm just saying I can more so understand a man trying to kick a woman down, even though I don't condone it because, maybe they went through a bad breakup with her or something like that, right? So I can kind of understand that, even though I don't condone it one bit. But what I just think is the biggest sign of weakness is when men kick down other men to try to show strength and, to try to make themselves feel better because they're insecure about something. You try to call these men out to help them, right? And what do? They keep coming at you. They keep trying to kick you down. And so the only thing you can do when you encounter guys like that in your life is just walk away. You can't help them. They're not open to the help. And until they're open to the help, no one can help them, including you. And it's going to set them back in life until they actually toughen up. And when I say toughen up, I mean their emotions. And that's pretty much what the topic is here today. We'll get to that in just a second. Whew. I got to say, I've been using my new massage gun all over my back and my thighs and around the knee area and my feet and everything. I've been massaging myself for hours. And I didn't even realize how many knots I had and how tense I was and how much looser I feel right now. I'm still a little stiff, but I think a lot of my sciatic pain from my herniated disc, which is pretty much almost healed, it's pretty much there. What people don't realize also is that when you have a herniated disc and you are tense and your muscles tighten up, it can affect that sciatic nerve and cause radiating pain. And part of what I talk about here today regarding controlling your emotions, okay, to prevent, bad things from happening, right, has to do with your health. And when you get overly emotional and you yell and scream all the time, it does affect your body. It tenses you up. It tightens your muscles, and that affects your health tremendously. I think that's part of what has affected my health over the last couple years, because I was unknowingly a part of this drama group out here on YouTube, and I kept going toe-to-toe with people and going on live stream panels and yelling and screaming at the top of my lungs and trying to defend myself against things that really didn't matter to them regardless of how I responded, right? It not only got me nowhere, it took a toll on my health. It, stress can kill you, folks. When you stress and you yell, you're using muscles. And your body gets very, very tense. And muscles get tight. And then it starts affecting you to the point of where, for me, I had difficulty even walking a couple years ago, almost 2 years ago, when I first herniated my disc. Stress will weaken your body. And that's why I wanted to do this stream here today, even though it's not the most exciting stream. It's not a drama stream. I'm not attacking anybody. It's not going to be entertaining. Sure, I try to make my, message as entertaining as possible. But the underlying message is important. And if you just hear what I have to say here today, and you decide to take my advice regarding, controlling your emotions, it will keep you healthier longer. You'll feel better longer. And you won't have to deal with what I've been dealing with almost the last couple of years, having difficulty even walking. And I have always been in pretty decent shape. You could be in the perfect health and good shape, and stress can still mess you up. Again, I'll share more about how it messed me up and how, losing my emotional shit at times, or many times, when I first came out here on YouTube as a full-time creator almost 5 years ago, how losing my emotional shit, where it didn't even matter, didn't even get me ahead, only set me further behind in many ways, how it affected me and how I turned it around. Good evening, Eli, says Lewis Fuller. Hey, Lewis. Hey, Queen. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the show. So, Queen says, hello, Lewis. I just gave you a like, says Lewis. Just going to wait a few minutes here for a few more people to join. And when you do what I do, my voice is everything. Sure, you want to look good for the camera and all that, right? Because YouTube and wherever I put my video content out, it's about video and audio. But the most important thing is your voice. And without your voice, you have no content. And your vocal cords, especially when you get older, can only take so much. So, I started to realize about 1.5 years ago or so that going back and forth with a bunch of people just trying to prove them wrong and stand up for myself, all the yelling and the screaming and losing my emotional shit, screaming from the top of my lungs, it was affecting my vocal cords. Was wearing them down quicker, to the point of where it's taken me quite some time for them to get back to normal. And they are back to normal now, which is why I'm back to doing typically 1 or 2 streams a day, and I will be doing even more pre-recorded content coming soon. Folks, you have to learn how to channel your energy better, especially when you get older. Because as you get older, you start to slow down a little bit, even though it appears like I haven't. And I keep pushing myself at the same level as I was doing when I was in my teens and 20s. Sometimes your body will give you a sign and say, hey, dude, you're not 18 or 20 or 25 or 30 anymore. You're 47, almost 48 years old. And when this sciatica happened, this herniated disc, which caused sciatica down from my lower right back through my ass cheeks, that's called the piriformis muscle. I've learned a lot about this, folks, I'll tell you. Down, through my knee area, down my shin, my thighs, all the way down to my feet. I'll tell you, when that happened, it was basically my body telling me that, dude, yes, we know you're trying to be Superman and you're very energetic and you're in good health and good shape for your age, but you're not a brand new car anymore, Eli. You're not a brand new car anymore. You still have lots of life in you, Eli, but your car now has like 80,000 miles on it instead of 0 or 10 or 20,000 miles. That's the figure of speech. Typically nowadays, new cars run like new until they hit 100,000. That's why the warranties are much better now. So, it looks like, I'm at the midpoint in my life and my body's hit the 100,000 mile mark, figuratively, like a car does, right? And that's when things start to break down a little bit, no matter how, well you take care of yourself. You have to identify that, and you have to slow down sometimes, take breaks, and reassess. Okay, so I can still do most of what I have been able to do in my teens and 20s and 30s, but now I need a little more rest in between segments, and that's what I've reassessed. I've started to focus more time on rest and not overly pushing myself or overly extending myself. Because let me tell you, rest is some of the best medicine, right? The more sleep you get and the better sleep you get, you rest your body, your mind, your soul, your muscles, everything, right? That's the best medicine for you. So, just wanted to throw that in there at the beginning here. It's just a gorgeous day. I got to show you this. Look at the sun. There are some people here, but it's not as busy. I'm not really running into people like on a weekend or later on in the day. This is typically a good time to come to the park. I was going to go to the SF Bay Trail up Bar Island again today, but at the last minute I said, let me just go to the park. I was running a little behind and, I just didn't want to overly extend myself. Sometimes you're going to change, your plans at the last second, and it's, typically frowned upon when people do that because people appreciate consistency. I myself do as well. But sometimes, if it's a matter of your health and not overly extending yourself for health reasons, then you got to do it. Just be honest with the people. If you had plans and you had to cancel on them or change them, just be honest with them. And if they're not understanding, then you know what? Guess what? They're not real friends, right? Good friends are going to be understanding. They're also not going to be needy, and be dependent on you hanging out with them all the time to be happy. They're going to have other options. They have other people to hang out with, or they're happy just spending a night by themselves at home, right? Whenever I get that downtime alone by myself, there's nothing better than that. And I'm not trying to be critical to any women out there that the woman that I'm seeing, or any women I've seen in the past. I'm not trying to say that they're not good. They were good. They were good women, right? What I'm saying is that outside of every aspect of your life, no matter how good your life is, spending downtime by yourself is very therapeutic, and it allows you to recoup, allows you to think clear. And so then when you put yourself back out there in every aspect of your life, you're refreshed, right? And for many of us, especially people that are social like myself, oh, I hear the ice cream truck coming, or it's already here. Oh boy. I may have to stop and use the restroom real quick. I will pause the stream if I do that, because I kind of want to go a couple more laps and really share with you folks, my experiences regarding this topic, and share with you folks what I've been through and what I've seen in other people, and how this really affects you. And how, like I said earlier, if you just listen to even a little bit of what I say, I know a lot of people, that really need this type of help, personal development, they don't respect people like me. And it's not even the fact that they don't respect me, they don't respect themselves enough to understand what people like myself are trying to do to help people. And I understand that, right? I understand that because I used to not believe in this stuff 15, 20 years ago. I used to feel the same way as these people. Oh, it's just another, fake coach or somebody trying to charge money to tell people what to do. I get it. Listen, to those people out there that don't like coaches like me or like me, right? And it's not just me that they don't like. They don't like anyone that does what I do. Excuse me. Allergies. I understand where you folks are coming from. And it wasn't until I took a good hard look at myself in the mirror and told myself, dude, this shit's not working. What you're doing is not working. You're focusing more of your time trying to please other people, and it's getting you nowhere. Right? Because I've always cared about people, and I always felt that, hey, if I take care of other people first, they'll take care of me. The truth of the matter is, that's the furthest thing from the truth. You got to take care of yourself first. And that goes for both men and women, especially in the modern world, because women are liberated. Before, in the past, before women were liberated, yes, they were dependent on men for everything. But nowadays, because women are liberated, and men have always been liberated, both men and women need to focus on themselves first and become the best version of themselves they can be before they can help other people or be good to other people. It's as simple as that, folks. It's as simple as saying that, but it's not easy to make the change. And I'll tell you, I am a person, whether you believe it or not, I'm a person that had difficulty understanding all this just 15 to 20 years ago. And I really didn't have a complete understanding of everything maybe until about 10 years ago, maybe like in my mid to late 30s. So I do understand where you're all coming from. Folks, I'm going to cut this off for a second, and I'll be back in a few minutes. I got to use the restroom. All right. Too much coffee, lady, says Queen. Queen, can you see me and hear me? I am back. Now I know how to navigate this YouTube app for the mobile live streams to temporarily put the stream offline and then come back in. I'll just let you folks know. All you have to do is if you want to pause your stream, you just have to shut down the YouTube app on your Android or your iPhone like myself, and then you relaunch it. You go down to the section where you click on Go Live, and then YouTube will prompt you and say you have a current active live stream running. You want to end it or you want to resume it. You just click on Resume, and it leaves off where you left off. And on the replay, it just splices the little break you took and pieces it all together like nothing happened. Yes, I have been drinking a lot of coffee. I mean, I love coffee. And I haven't eaten today yet, Queen. And I know this is too much information, but I took a number 2 before I came to the park, so my stomach is empty. And I'm trying to tone up a little bit. I'm trying to probably lose about 3 to 5 pounds. I've been trying to bulk up a little bit, and now I want to, when you bulk up, you gain a little teeny tiny bit of fat, and I'm trying to lose that. So, that's why I'm kind of like fasting a little bit. So when you have no food in your system, well, there's probably still a little bit in there. I don't feel hungry right now. But when you don't have like any like bread or anything to soak up, your liquid, it runs right through your body. And even though I went to the bathroom right before I left my place to come out here, there's still some left in there until it processes its way through your bladder and all that. You typically have to go a half an hour later, but I should be fine for the rest of the show now. So thank you for those that are still here. We still have 9 in the box, 2 thumbs up. Let's get to the topic of today's show. Welcome to Navigating the Modern World with Coach Eli, the Walking with Purpose live edition, live from Red Morton Park in beautiful Redwood City, California. This is episode number 144, and there's a guy coming with a couple dogs. So I'm going to cross the street and avoid him, just to be polite. And today, we're going to be discussing how to control your emotions and avoid several complications. One more time. How to control your emotions and avoid several complications. I don't know if anyone has ever presented a topic like this regarding controlling your emotions in the way I'm about to do it, because I'm going to share with you folks the many ways that losing your emotional shit, especially if you do it too often, will affect your life. Not only can it affect your life in ways, if you do something stupid, you may end up in jail, it can also and will affect your health, like it's affected mine. And that's why I wanted to do this topic here today, because, we're all emotional beings. Whether we're men or women, we all have emotions. Now, everyone, including myself, will say women are emotional beings, right? When you say that to women, they say, well, men are emotional beings too. Well, ladies, you're right. But I'm going to start off again, sound like a broken record, and say the same thing that I always say. The difference between men and women is how we process our emotions. Besides everything else biologically, we have a few different body parts, right? But the main differences between men and women, besides the body parts, are the way we process emotions. Women respond to everything emotionally first based on how they're feeling in the present moment. And then they reason with logic afterwards. As a guy, you really need to learn to understand that. Because if you don't, then I'd suggest becoming a monk. Because if you don't understand that women are emotional all day, every day, even when they're happy or when they're sad or whenever, right? And they all respond to every single little thing that happens to them all day, every day, emotionally based on how they're feeling in the present moment, right? And men respond to everything logically first, and then may show some emotion. But nowadays, we have a lot of men that are being raised in broken households. They're being raised by more feminized dads and more masculine mothers. The sexual polarity is off in their parents' marriage or relationship or whatever. And we have many men nowadays that react to everything emotionally first before logically thinking about it, right? And that's why you hear, guys, say this about these types of guys. Dude, you're acting like a girl. You're acting like a bitch, right? How many times have we heard that? That's the reason why. I used to never understand when I was younger. When my guy friends were telling me, Eli, you're acting like a woman. You're acting like a female dog, right? Okay, the derogatory thing that, men call women, right? And I'm like, no, I'm not, right? More so acting like a woman. When they would call me out on what I was actually doing, because I didn't realize it, I was more so acting like it. I was getting emotionally triggered. Not a masculine trait there, right? And what you have to understand, guys, when it comes to women, is that even if you're dating a woman for 10 years, I'm going to use this example again. I'm going to keep saying it like a broken record till every man understands this, right? Let's say you're dating a woman for 10 years, and the day after your 10-year anniversary, you do something stupid. Maybe you cheat on her, maybe you call her a nasty thing or whatever, right? You do something that pisses her off, right? And let's say she decides, because it was just so horrible, she decides to leave you, even after 10 years. A lot of guys will come out and say, man, I made one mistake in 10 years. I made one little mistake in 10 years, and now she's leaving me, Is she not looking back at all the good times we had? It's not the way women work. And it's not women trying to be mean, right? It's not women trying to be, all picky and choosy and, having all these extra options to just leave when they feel like it. It's just the way women have always been hardwired, right? You don't get time for good behavior when it comes to women. Because like I said again, women's emotions are processed in the current moment. Women respond to everything that happens to them all day, every day, emotionally, based on how they're feeling in the present moment. All that matters to women, for the most part, I'm not saying completely, but for the most part, is what's happening right now and how they feel right now. It's about how they feel, right? That's what I want you guys to understand, right? But nowadays, we have a lot of men that are being raised differently. And even though I was raised pretty well from a good, solid family, because my father was working all the time and my mother was raising me, I learned more of the emotional side of things growing up. And I didn't figure out the rest till I got a little bit older. I learned it from my father, but I didn't realize it until I got older. So when I was younger, like I said earlier, I was acting, all emotional, and, I would react to things and overreact to things, and that wasn't masculine energy. I was exuding a lot of feminine energy. And what happened when I behaved that way? People didn't want to be around me. They would criticize me for it. They would say, dude, man up. And in that case, that's the right thing to do, is say, man up. Dude, it's too much, right? Nowadays, if I hang around some of my friends that I've known for a while, or anyone that I encounter wherever they may be, if they're a man and they're behaving extremely overly emotional, like I used to when I was younger, I'm repelled by that. I'm immediately turned off by it. It's like, dude, you're acting like a woman. You're acting, overly emotional, man. I just want to have a conversation with you. Nowadays, you can't even have an honest, straightforward conversation with your guy friend to try to help him out. And the only way you can help him out is by calling him out on things that he's asking for help for or help with, right? And then you call them out, and then, you have to be critical, you have to be, honest and truthful, and then they get emotional at you because you told them the truth regarding something they asked your help on. But because it was not what they wanted to hear, right? They get emotional at you. That's not masculine energy. I want to help primarily men, but also women, become emotionally stronger. Now, I say primarily men because, like I said, women are naturally and biologically more emotional. They're emotional all day, every day. I think, personally, if we help solve the issue that many men have nowadays, especially our millennials, the Gen Y, millennials, and the Gen Z, I generation, if we help these men become more self-confident, become more emotionally secure, emotionally available and stable, and not overreact to things emotionally, I think that women will just follow suit. I think one of the main reasons why women nowadays get extremely overly emotional is because the men from their generation are more emotional than the women. And here's the thing, guys. You got to understand this. Men and women biologically work best together. We balance each other out, right? We balance each other out in different ways. You want to know what a woman looks up to a man for to balance out, whether she admits it or not? Some do, but a lot don't, but that's okay. A man is going to balance out a woman's emotions, right? When a woman's not feeling good, something happens to her, right? And she starts to feel bad, and maybe she cries or she expresses not feeling good, right? It could be something that a man would experience, and a man would just say, it is what it is, right? That's just how some things go sometimes. That's how normal, strong, emotionally strong men behave, which is what I'm trying to say. They say, it is what it is. Shit happens, right? But because women respond to everything emotionally based on how they're feeling in the present moment, women are always going to react to everything emotionally first. And they're looking up to strong, emotionally strong, real men that can be there for them and say, hey, babe, it's okay. I've been through this. Let me tell you something. I understand why you feel the way you feel, right? But, sitting here and crying about you can cry on my shoulder all you want, babe. I'm here for you. Right? I love you, care for you, blah, 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 right? Give me a second. I'm passing by an AT&T truck. AT&T's been going everywhere. They've been deploying fiber like crazy all over the Bay Area. I think the entire Bay Area is going to have fiber probably within the next couple years. With the exception of, the very extreme rural areas. But what a lot of people don't realize is that, do you realize that all cell towers have a fiber line hooked up to them? That's how they deliver the internet to the cell tower, and then from the cell tower to your phone. And AT&T is getting very smart because fiber, I've had it for 2 years since it came out at my place. It's never gone down one time. They never had to come out for any repairs. It's got like 99.99% uptime. For me, it's been like 100. Now, a couple times you have to restart your router and stuff like that, but shit happens. I don't like AT&T. Queen, you're one of those people that doesn't like a lot of things, huh? That's okay. You don't like AT&T, no problem. I love AT&T. I have AT&T, wireless on my phone. It works great. I have coverage everywhere. Got, AT&T fiber. That's how I run those high quality streams from the studio. Simulcasting to 3 places. But anyway, let me get back to what I was talking about. So, men and women balance each other out. And women are looking up to a man for primarily their emotional strength. What a lot of guys don't realize is one of the most important aspects to a woman that she looks for when she's maybe going on a first date with you or talking with you on a dating app. They're looking to see how emotionally stable you are, how emotionally open and aware you are, and what's the other thing I was going to say? So they're looking for emotional stability. They're looking for emotional availability and being open emotionally, right? They're looking to see how well, as a man, you contain your emotional shit. Why is that? For a couple of reasons. Number one, they're emotional beings, and they need you to balance out their, I was going to be polite, but fuck it. Their crazy emotions. Let's just face it, women have crazy emotions. We've all dated women, right, Dion? Dion, I see you here. Welcome to the show, brother. Don't tell me that your woman has never had any emotional moments while she's with you. And, she was going through something while with you. It had nothing to do with you, right? Nothing to do with you, right? But she's feeling the emotional, she's feeling the emotions flowing through her brain, right? Or through her blood, right? Her veins. And you're like, what the hell's wrong with my woman? I'm taking her out to dinner. I tell her she's beautiful. We went on a hike. Everything's beautiful, right? But she's still damn emotional. What the hell did I do wrong? And a lot of times you did nothing wrong. A lot of times it's something else outside of your relationship that's bothering them. Maybe they're struggling to pay their rent. Maybe they don't like their job. Maybe they had an argument with their mother or father or their brother or sister, right? At that point, as a man, all you do is you say, hey, babe, what's wrong? And a lot of times the woman in that emotional state will say, nothing's wrong. There's nothing wrong. And what I'll do is I'll say, come on, babe, tell me what's wrong so I can help you work through it, right? And then she'll come back and say, I said there's nothing wrong. As a man, you got to sit there and be strong and understand that that's just how women are. You don't get mad. You just sit there and you smile, and it might trigger them a little more. Why are you smiling? Because, babe, I'm smiling because when a woman tells me whenever a woman's told me there's nothing wrong in the past, there's always something majorly fucking wrong. So, babe, I'm your rock. I'm your guy. I want to help you through this. And, babe, if you don't allow me to help you through this, I have to ask you, why are you with me, right? You just put it all out there. You just put your relationship on the line. A real man's not going to fear losing his woman over calling her out on the truth, right? Oh, babe, I don't want to lose you. Let me tell you what's going on. Okay, babe. Babe, I was never going to leave. I'm just saying, babe, if I'm your rock and I'm your man, and there's something going on, whether it involves me or not, I'm the first person you can always come to. I'm never going to judge you, but I'm going to be honest with you. So tell me what's wrong, right? In that situation, you know, a woman is going through the same thing she goes through when she's growing up and being a little girl, right? What would happen when a little girl would have these moments growing up, right? She would go and sit on daddy's lap, right? Now, I'm not saying this in any weird way, but in essence, like the right man, you know, is going to handle that situation with his girlfriend the same ways that her father would handle it. Now, hopefully she came from a family where she had her biological father and mother. If not, then there are other issues. But I'm just speaking on, you know, women that have a good upbringing, right? They're still going to go through things, right? So Dion's saying all the time, LOL, exactly. Yeah, dude. I mean, would you expect anything else? Like, dude, seriously, like, if a woman doesn't get at least emotional one time when I see her, right, then there's something wrong, right? It's almost like you have to expect it, right? And be prepared for it, right? And that's part of the beauty of women. That's what makes women interesting, right? Let me come over here. I have some kids coming and they were talking to me and I don't want to get them in the video. I've got to just avoid them. Stepping through this deep grass over here at the kindness corner, or where I assume the kindness corner is going to be. I mean, this is probably it, like I've been saying the past few streams I've been out here. So yeah, but let's flip it. Let's say you're in that situation with your woman, right? She's getting all emotional, right? And let's say you're a guy that doesn't understand that that's how women are. There are lots of guys that have no tolerance for emotional stuff, right? Right? They like to call it emotional baggage. Well, listen, women are emotional whether they have emotional baggage or not. Women are just emotional all the freaking time, right? But there are guys out there that don't understand this. And when their woman gets emotional, they'll say, shut up, the B word and woman or whatever, right? They'll get super triggered, right? And what happens? That pours more fuel on her emotions and makes her more angry. So she's going to come at you more, right? And a guy that's not emotionally sound or stable, that triggered her because he responded that way, if she responds at him harder with harder emotions and more, you know, in-your-face emotions, this guy's going to get in her face and might even physically hurt her. This is what creates physical violence. This is one example I really want guys to understand. Because the truth of the matter is this. Even secure, stable men like myself and Dion, Sifu Smo, and other people, you know, other guys out there that are stable. Even us stable guys, we've dated women. And there have been times, trust me, where we've all felt like wringing their damn neck, right? Tell me I'm wrong, Dion. But we don't do it. Number one, we don't do it because we don't want to go to jail and we're not abusive guys, right? Right? But number two, and the main reason is because we have an understanding that this is how women are normally and biologically. And we already know and understand that before we even put ourselves out there in the dating world. Hey, Donnie, what's going on, bro? Thanks for connecting with me on Facebook earlier today, and thank you for allowing me to add you to the moderator group. I saw that you were having a conversation, I believe it was you with Lewis. This is before I came out to the park, regarding his Wi-Fi router. I know you've known Lewis for a while, and you've probably seen all the streaming issues he's had. And finally, I'm going to send him a donation when he finally sends me his PayPal link and I'm going to buy him a damn Wi-Fi extender. Or extender, sorry. But thank you for being here, bro. I greatly appreciate you, and I appreciate the fact that despite everything that's happened in the past, and we've known each other for over 3 years, man. Send me back to my former channel. I appreciate you giving us another opportunity, man. You're a good dude. We've all been through things. You were going through some things back then too, brother. So I get it, right? But it's really nice to see you and many other people come into my streams and reconnecting behind the scenes in a more positive way. I really appreciate that. Seriously, man. I know it sounds kind of stupid, but it's how I feel, man. And here's the thing, guys. When it comes to, I've said this before, I'll say it again. And I'm going to share on my last lap the most important reason or reasons why to not, get emotionally triggered all the time and yell and scream all the time and be overly emotional, whether you're a man or a woman. But I'll say this before I get to that. There's nothing wrong with men expressing themselves emotionally at times. There's nothing wrong telling a woman you love her. There's nothing wrong. Go ahead. They're waiting for me. I'm literally 20 steps away from the driveway and they're waiting for me. So I just wave them on. So that way I don't get their car in the video. I'm trying to be respectful, professional and mature, right? So there's nothing wrong with, I don't know, oh man, there's some really loud music in the background here and I don't know where it's coming from. What the fuck is that? I don't know what the hell that is. I guess some dude was honking at me. People love it when they see you with a selfie stick in the camera. They're like, are you vlogging? Are you live? Are you on YouTube or Instagram or Facebook? Or I'm a damn YouTuber. Sounded like a car horn. Oh, that was a car horn. You probably couldn't hear the music because I was talking over it because I don't want to get a content ID claim, Donnie. But YouTube has incidental protection on these live streams. So if a little bit of copyrighted music comes in the background, they call it incidental, not purposefully done. And they typically won't give you a claim for that. And then your video is still fully monetized. I care about it because I want to keep myself in good standing with YouTube, and I am a monetized channel, so I do want to keep it in good standing. But like I was saying a second ago, guys, there's nothing wrong with men expressing themselves emotionally, especially if you're with a woman that really loves you and cares about you, and she's having an emotional moment. She's not going to come out and tell you, and she's going to even try to stop you from helping her through that emotional moment, right? But the truth of the matter is she wants to feel your strength. She wants you to realize she's going through something, and she wants you to balance out her emotions. And if she says, no, there's nothing wrong, she wants you to figure out that there's something wrong and that she wants to talk about it. But she does it in that way because she doesn't want to be a burden. She doesn't want to affect you, right? And you as a man need to come in there and, be a good dude and show her some emotion at that time. Don't be afraid. Hey, babe, what's going on? Don't say, hey, babe, what the fuck is wrong? No, that's not going to work. You be a cool dude, right? It doesn't make you a sissy to be this way, right? In that moment, right? Hey, babe, what's going on? It sounds like you're not feeling good. What can I do to make you feel better, babe? Right? Doesn't make you less of a man. It makes you a stronger man. It makes you a real man is not going to be afraid to express himself emotionally in that way because he loves his woman, right? And she loves him, right? But again, those guys that in that moment, say, what the F is wrong? What the hell is wrong with you, right? It's the wrong way to approach it. Those are the guys that are not manly. Those are the guys, that are the sissies. Those guys are afraid to express themselves emotionally because they're insecure about something within themselves. They look at expressing themselves emotionally, even when it's called for in a moment like that, as a feminine type of thing, and it's not. That's a masculine thing. You're there to balance out your woman's emotions. And you're there to give her the support that she needs during that time. And she's trying to tell you in a subtle way, but she's not being direct with you because she really doesn't want to bother you with the issue, but she doesn't know what else to do, right? She loves you so much, she doesn't want to bother you with the issue. So she tries to tell you in a roundabout way, like smoke signals, right? With women, you have to learn to read smoke signals. I'm telling you, that's just the way it goes, right? So yeah, again, guys, there's nothing wrong with sharing emotion at times when it's called for. But all other times, when people are coming at you, whether it's your girlfriend, your wife, other guy friends or girlfriends, right, as friends, when people come at you and try to trigger you and try to get an emotional reaction from you, right, don't let that shit get to you. Identify it. And, there are a lot of people that are going to approach you, in public and even online now, and they're going to try to criticize you and attack you just to try to get a reaction because they perceive you to be better than them, right? If what they say to you in those situations makes you feel like you want to wring their neck, take a deep breath and don't say anything. Clear your mind and remember this show, right? Remember this stream here if you're watching this, if you're in that situation. And tell yourself, you know what? I'm not going to overreact. It's not worth it. I'm a strong man. These people are trying to get a reaction from me. This person or these people are trying to get a reaction from me, right? It's not easy because you feel like you want to wring their neck. Donnie, I know you've been in that situation where you feel like you want to wring someone's neck. I've been there too, bro. It's just not worth it. Not only is it not worth it, it makes you less of a man. It's not a masculine thing to overreact like that. And again, if you do that in front of your woman, it's pretty much the beginning of the end of your relationship because when you react to a woman that way the first time, they're going to lose trust in your masculine core. They're not going to feel safe with you anymore. And if that's not the last time that they see you, the end is near. They may give you one chance, but if you even semi-snap a second time, you're going to be out the door. Let me come over by this tree here and look at the chat real quick. I know the chat is kind of hopping right now. Hey, Mess, how you doing? I get that a lot, he says. Smoke signals describes it perfectly. LOL. That's true. Yeah, they are hard to read. You're right, Donnie. And you're right, Sifu Smo. It is very easy to let go and overreact, says Donnie. You're absolutely right. And hello, everyone. Hello, Critical Mass Vlog. How you doing? It's not worth it at all, says Sifu Smo. Donnie says, the more mature you get, the calmer you get. Absolutely. Sifu Smo, hello, Critical Mass. That's how I seem anyway, says Donnie. Hey, Dion, says Critical Mass. Hey, Critical, says Donnie. Sifu Smo, never get emotional with a woman. It will be the beginning of the end. Yeah, thanks for putting that in text there, Sifu Smo, Dion. I'm telling you guys, the moment that you... Okay, listen. There are times where you need to show some emotion to your woman, right? But I'm talking about positive, reinforcing emotion, right? Like validating that, hey, it's going to be okay. Like women need validation. Men don't. Men that seek validation are not masculine men. And no matter what women say, even the liberated women nowadays, which is pretty much all of them, they need validation. Your job as a man is to give your woman that validation during those times where she's having the emotional moment by showing her good, positive emotion. Being cool and calm. Hey, babe. What's going on? Let's talk about it. You know, you got to have a calm voice, right? Right? And let me tell you something. You could probably ask Donnie and Sifu Smo Dion and anyone else here that's dated women. If you're a man and you handle that calmly and you cheer her up, make her feel better, and if you're anywhere near a damn bedroom, she's going to be riding you like there's no frickin' tomorrow after that. Because I will tell you, when you have those emotional moments, you ever notice why some of the best sex happens after those emotional moments or arguments or whatever? You know? Well, I didn't handle it well with my ex-wife. Well, you learned from it, Donnie. Donnie, you think every one of us here handled it right the first time? We all screwed up, brother. I mean, we're human, right? We're guys, we're human, right? But you ever notice why some of the best sex is always after an emotional conversation with your woman or after an argument? It's because that's when you both feel the closest to each other. You're bonding emotionally. Both the man and the woman are bonding emotionally. And hey, even as a man, there's nothing wrong with emotionally bonding with your woman. It doesn't make you less of a man to want to emotionally bond with your woman. If you're dating a woman for a while and you care about her, you love her, right? And you're like, oh, emotionally bonding with her makes me a sissy. It sounds like a sissy word, right? That's the whole point of the relationship, is to emotionally bond. The emotional bond, in my opinion, is the most important aspect of any dating relationship. The emotional bond is what fuels the intimacy, the sex. The emotional bond is what also stimulates more mental conversation, and you have to keep the conversation going. So that's why, I try to tell, not try to tell, but I try to help as many men as possible understand that a lot of your issues are coming from the way you handle yourselves emotionally. And a lot of women nowadays are more so losing their shit emotionally because there aren't any, well, I'm not saying any, but most men nowadays don't know how to be emotionally strong to balance out the women. So the women, are like, oh shit, there aren't any good men left out here, right? If you've noticed in this modern world, women have become more emotionally stir-crazy than ever before. Why? Because the millennial and post-millennial men, the Gen Y and Gen Zers, they don't know how to handle this. There are men that act like women. Not all of us, but most of them, right? So, because of the way men are being raised, and they're not emotionally strong like they should be, raised to be emotionally strong, the women suffer from it too. The women have nowhere to go to balance out their emotions. And the men they date are more emotional than them, so it makes the women even more emotional than they already are. It's created this world of shit. It really has. Now, during this last lap, I want to talk about how being overly emotional all the time, whether you're a man or a woman, can affect your health. Like I said at the beginning of this show, when I first came out here on YouTube almost 5 years ago, I was unknowingly a part of a drama group, or what was becoming a drama group. I didn't even realize it, or I would have never joined it. And for the first, I'd say 2.5 years of being out here on YouTube, maybe 3 years, I kept going back and forth with people on live stream panels. They would talk smack about me. Some of it was true, some of it wasn't. But regardless, the fact that they were, attacking me online and offline, they took it into real life, it really super triggered me. And it got me to overreact. I would do live streams and get very loud and triggered and raise my voice. I'd go on their panels and shout at the top of my lungs. There were even times when I was with my ex-girlfriend, Dana, who used to help me run my former channel that I used to run during that time. I was at her place or with her, and I was shouting and yelling at these people. I lost my shit. And that's one of the main reasons why it cost me my relationship. And I had never lost my shit in that way before. I was also new to YouTube and marketing a business online. But I lost my shit. But what? Losing my relationship, yes, that hurt. Right? But you can recover from that, right? And find someone else, right? I'm not trying to take anything away from my ex. She was a good woman. But you can always find someone else, right? But where did it really affect me? What did all that shouting and yelling day after day, night after night, what did it do? It stressed me out unlike anything before, and stress kills. It stressed me out so much, I started getting tense in my shoulders, my back, my feet. And remember, I've always been in pretty good health, right? Because I lost my emotional shit with these people, and I felt like giving them a constant piece of my mind because that's how a lot of guys are raised to be. Or, you know, back in the days, the barbarian days, we were raised to protect our families, and, you know, any evil comes our way, we go and beat the fuck out of them, right? So every single man on the planet, even then you guys, the millennials and post-millennials, we still have that barbarian beast inside of us. But nowadays, more so, we have to learn to contain that beast. Because containing that beast is the most attractive thing to a woman, and is also the healthiest way to live your life, by not overly stressing yourself out, getting really tense, getting knots all over your body, and then eventually your body wears down after you do that for a while, and you go on a hike like I did, and you herniate your disc because your body's already been weakened by all of that negativity and that rage and yelling and being emotionally crazy. Like, and I was like this. I'm not saying I was a psychopath. I wasn't. But I was going at these people all day, every day for like 2+ years straight. Full force. Screaming at the top of my lungs like a little baby that had his toy taken from him. And it affected me. It affected my health. And I've been paying the price for that for the last almost 2 years. I'm almost healed, don't get me wrong. The reason why I'm almost healed is because I stopped. I finally ignored it. I started moving past it. I got a better grip on my emotions. And this was just online. Offline, I'd already had a good grip on my emotions. This was online. It was new to me, right? But I had to learn how to also handle myself online better. I'm telling you guys and gals out there, more so guys, but even for you ladies as well, the more men and women can better contain their emotions and think twice or 3 times before reacting to anything that triggers an emotional response, the better your life will be. People are going to see you as more mature, respectful, and you're going to be more approachable. People are going to want to be around you more because you're a strong enough person to the point of where you don't let every little negative thing that happens in life bother you, because we all deal with negative things all the time. And then you're going to stay healthier as well too. Because let me tell you something. Being in emotional rage all the time, again, it may not only get you to do something that could harm someone out of your control, right? That could maybe get you in jail or worse, right? Not only that, but it can and will affect your health. It will affect your health physically. It will physically take a toll on your body. I'm trying to emphasize this as much as possible because there are still people to this day I see on YouTube, other social media platforms, and even in the real world, go at each other, yelling from the top of each other's lungs. It's not healthy. It's not healthy. And if you don't do something that gets you in trouble with the law, you keep doing it, your body's going to take a toll physically. You're going to get sick. You're going to get injured. Your body is going to weaken. You may collapse. I mean, thankfully for me, you know, my body, by getting this herniated disc, my body basically told me, Eli, this is it. This is your final warning. If you don't stop now, you're done. Listen to your body. Started listening to my body, finally. And everything started changing for the better. Started going back the other way. It's taken me a while, but I'm almost there. And guys and gals, get your questions, comments, and concerns in the chat. I'm going to be going off the air in just about 10 minutes or less, maybe 8 minutes. I'm on my third lap. I'm going to wrap this up, probably take one more lap after this, and then go back to the studio and get something to eat, and then do another great show tonight where we're going to be talking furthermore about, you know, guys kicking down other guys. There's a Reddit posting that talks about this, and the comments were rather interesting, so I want to read it and talk about it more because, you know, guys, you know, some guys, wherever they encounter guys online or offline, they will intentionally kick them down, thinking that that's going to make them more of a cool guy and more masculine and all that, and that's the furthest thing from the truth. Behaving that way makes you a big freaking sissy. Or let's just say BFP. Those of you that know what BFP means, you know what I'm talking about. It's a little bonus for those of you that have been following me for quite some time. Folks, please smash the like button. Hit that thumbs up. I'd appreciate it. Please, like I said, like, share, subscribe, bang the bell, select all notifications. If you're here for the first time and you can't chat, there's a 24-hour waiting period to chat on my live streams. I have my chat set to only allow subscribers that have been subscribed for a minimum of 24 hours to chat. I do that as a security measure. It also helps keep away more trolls. I've got lots of great security here on my channel, so there's very little trolling going on, and any trolling that seeps through, one of my many mods here will take care of it. This is a safe place, folks, for men and women to come and ask me questions and even ask the moderators questions, because a lot of these moderators here, you know, they've been a part of these male groups on YouTube. Every single moderator here right now in my chat knows this stuff as well as I do. And we can all help you work through it. And we can support you. Also, what I failed to mention was, please, and Donnie, if you want to join this too, bro, the Reddit group that's been around for a couple of weeks, we have 21 members in there, a few more joined. More and more people are joining. We have a few more members in there. It's the Genuine Emotional Support Group for men and women on Reddit. I started it a couple of weeks ago at r/real emotional support or www.reddit.com/r/real emotional support. I primarily created the group to help give men the emotional support that they're not getting from anywhere, especially other men, because other men don't support men emotionally. But I'm also allowing women in the group full force, because even though women get tons of emotional support from other women, there are some women that want the perspective of a man, and certainly I want the perspective of women and men in the group, because I personally feel men and women work best together, and we learn the most by communicating together. Why create more division with women than there already is by making this a male-only group? A lot of people have asked me, why don't you cater your content just to men? You'd probably have a bigger YouTube channel. I'm like, well, if that's preventing me from growing, I'm not going to change my channel, because I believe in both men and women. And I believe in actually correcting the issue, not just creating channels focusing it towards men and talking smack about women, which is what these channels want, just so these guys can feel better, right? The issue will only be solved if we involve both men and women, and both men and women are involved in the conversation and the process of making things better. So that's why whatever I do has always been diverse, has been open to both men and women, has been open to all sexual orientations, races. Everybody's welcome. We have no color lines or anything. The only thing that I request is that you be at least 18 years of age or older. I know a lot of the younger guys need help, but because of liability and issues with social media platforms and stuff like that, I cater my content to 18 plus. Now, if you're under 18, this is public, you can watch it. You can still learn from it. The same principles still apply to you, but you young guys and gals under 18, you're still young and you're still experimenting, right? So you're going to keep experimenting, and once you turn 18, if you want to be a part of the Reddit group or participate more here on YouTube and stuff, then you'll have more experience, and we can help you work through the things that you've been through at that point. God, those guys were really loud over there. All right. So I'm going to wrap things up here, folks. Wow, that dude is loud, louder than me. I never thought I'd hear somebody louder than me. Or Tony Robbins. We have 10 in the box. We are at 1 hour and 17 minutes. Wow, did 3 laps pretty quick today. I'm getting my stride back. All right, folks, please smash the thumbs up. Sounds like sports sounds. Yeah, we're at the park. Take care, everyone. This is Critical Mass. Queen is looking for trolls. Lewis just sent you my PayPal link to the group chat. All right, Lewis, I'll take care of that later tonight or tomorrow morning. And for some reason, the fire truck is over there. Maybe there was an injury where they're doing construction. Or maybe they're just, getting some sun. Who knows? All right, everyone. Have yourselves a good one. I'll see you from the studio later tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific. Take care. Bye-bye. We're out. Peace out. Peace.